I'm pretty excited about this one because we're going to be talking about one of the scummiest practices on offense right now in Madden 26 and how to shut it down completely from a defensive perspective. So this is going to help you guys all around. I say it's scummy because that's more of like the clickbaity way of describing something. In effect, EA is just giving us freedom on certain RPOs this year to create our own concepts. And I think that that is actually wonderful. And a lot of players are really upset with this because they like to run their shaded down zones and just switch stick around, and they don't like the idea of how this is impacting the way that they play the game. So again, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, stick around. I'm going to show you guys everything you know to shut down this tactic. Let's go. Now, just because the meta right now is the bunch X nasty, I'm going to show this to you out of the bunch X nasty, but just be aware that this concept is all over the game. In fact, if we were to go back to college football, I talked about how this concept is really good in the Utah playbook, which is built around quarterback draw and blast RPOs, where you can hot route receivers to a million different things. And there's actually RPOs in this game that are much more spread out that you guys can do this out of. Maybe I'll take a look for one here in this video, but let's focus on this meta right now. Now, the motion RPO zone alert is a play that we have freedom to be able to hot route our receivers to different route combos. So we don't just have to run this as a glance. I can actually go ahead and take a look at this and think, all right, well, let's go ahead here and put maybe a stem down post. So this thing gets a little bit steeper up the field rather than running more directly into those linebackers. Now, the thing about this particular call here is that I can hot route this to my heart's content. And I want you to watch the linebacker that is on the left side, number 53. You will see here when I snap this ball that he bites up and I can just throw the ball right at his head. So this is something that is super annoying. It's something that you're definitely going to have to deal with. In fact, a lot of players are just going to come out and they're going to put, you know, certain routes on the field that are designed to kind of be open. You know, again, like you're going to see a lot of times you can throw these inside pass leads. A lot of times players are shading down. You're not even going to get a, you know, a chuck animation on this player. In other words, what we're doing is we're looking for regular hook zones that are in this game. Now, there are two different types of hook zones. There are hook zone curls, which are found in a cover 2. And it's something that I actually showed you guys in a video this week is really useful against defending slot curls as opposed to the vertical hooks, which we'll talk about momentarily. Then the other type of hook curl in the game is the one that is called just a regular hook curl. These are found in your cover 3 and cover 4 defenses. Now, depending on the type of defense you're in, that is going to tell you which players are likely to run commit. Now, because we're in a cover 3 here, you're going to see that the two linebackers that we just had, Bond and Diablo, are going to bite down on the run, which means from a perspective of setting up this route combo, I can very easily say, all right, well, let's go ahead and put a seam, and then let's just put a post route that will stem down glance. And if the user goes left, we'll throw to the right. And if the user goes right, we'll throw to the left. And of course, if they're on nothing, we could just throw to either of those two guys. And you see that this can be a one-play touchdown if caught in stride. From a perspective of just attacking zone, that's all it goes down to is, can you find who the players on the field that are your hook zones? And those players will be the ones that are going to run commit. You'll even see here that if I shade up on the analog stick, that these guys are still very likely to basically run commit. So you're going to see here that I can throw this ball on this play right there. I use the auto motion to get the receiver out in the flat, so I didn't get chucked by that outside receiver. So by that outside corner rather. So you see right here that I can just expect in this particular setup that on this play, a cover 2, the non-mid read hooks are going to bite down, which means I have a hike throw to the left or the right. And then if I want to make sure that cloud flat on the left doesn't touch Higgins, I just use this auto motion and just pump this throw in right behind. So they can't really be in both scenes at the same time. So the first thing that you guys are going to have to do here is think to yourself, all right, well, I'm suspecting RPO, they are probably going to throw that hike throw. I could go ahead and pass commit. So the first thing that I can tell you is if you do pass commit by hitting right bumper and up, this will make it so your hook zones will not bite. So I will show you here. I'm going to try to throw this right at the X receiver, and that guy plays the throw and forces the knockout. Okay. So the first thing is pass committing if you're in a zone. I'm gonna show you guys a bunch more ways to counter this here in just a second. But first, make sure you guys open up a tab and head over to my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg, because what I'm about to share with you to shut this down without the need for pass committing is gonna rely on match coverage. And in our match coverage Bible, I show you guys how to run cover 4 quarters, cover 4 palms, cover 6, cover 9, cover 2 match, cover 3, you guys name it. Anything that matches, I show you guys how it works exactly against formations of all types. That means that even though you're gonna learn how to shut down the gun bunch X nasty RPO here in this video, when you go up against the plethora of different hot routable RPOs in this game, you will be able to think to yourself, oh, this formation is 2x2 spread. Zan likes to run this match coverage against that. Oh, this formation is 3x1 and he's hot routing number 2 to a route that's glitching out my zones. Which match should I go to? You guys will have all of that in your arsenal. And not only that, but you guys can take a look at my Miami defensive game plan to show you what stunts to call against those formations so you guys can rush the passer or stop the runs out of those particular formations while installing the coverage behind it. This system has been tried and true this year for my members on my website, with everybody in our Discord going crazy about how they're playing the best defense they have ever played. And I'll admit, I think this is the best defensive product I've ever put out in my life, much less at launch of a game this early in the season. So make sure you guys go take advantage of those game plans. My offensive game plan is completely updated as well with everything that I run. And we have over 70 vault tips. Yes, 70 vault tips since Madden dropped. Go check it out, link in the description. So let's talk about how to match this bunch X nasty here. I was gonna tell you guys to run a little bit of cover 2 match, but I have a little bit better opportunity to explain why cover 4 quarters is such a good coverage call against RPO defenses, and why teams across the country in college and in the NFL are handling these spread out RPO ridden formations with a too high match. Now, the easy way to describe this is that when you're playing a cover 4 defense with matching rules, your safeties are in the run fit. So they get what is called a flat foot read. When I show you the run fits by pressing the right trigger and B and X, you see that they have lanes in the run fit. They are up in the run fit. So what I like to do, and you could do this via the coaching suggestions menu by setting your coaching depths for the safeties to pinch and close. That's usually my go-to. You just go down here, go left on both of those to go pinch and close. Really simple to set up. And then I'll just call kind of like cover 4 quarters. Now, sometimes I'll mess with my shell, set it to true cover 4. But what this is going to do is this is going to get your safeties into matching vertical threats. So when I talk about like a post route off the line or a streak route off the line that glitches out a hook in the middle of the field, what it's not going to do is glitch out the safeties that are in matching rules. So when I go to snap this ball, like, okay, you could go ahead and have my guys play the run, but what ends up occurring is when I go to throw these balls, you've got these guys in a perfect spot to take away the hike throws. You see right there, we got a deflection and a tip drill pick by Pat Surtain. So because we have zones that are basically in flat foot reads against the run and then figuring out who to match after that, you end up with a solid bracket. You're not really going to shove this post into Holland playing an inside leverage, especially with Surtain on the outside shoulder. And then over here in the slot, our walk down safety in McKinney is in a perfect spot where you can't hike throw a bullet pass inside. So you see these linebackers biting up to stop the run. We want that in this defense. But what I need behind that is my safeties to be downhill against those RPO pops that are so popular in real life. So while I say things like, oh, this is a scummy tactic, yeah, that is the YouTube clickbaity side of things, but there is actual football application for why these defenses behave the way they do and why teams will RPO zone defenses and get those linebackers biting up. And it's harder to RPO the split field and the full field match coverages where the safeties are basically flat foot read and playing on these particular players. So you see that they're in a much better spot. Now, of course, people are not just going to run this RPO, okay? They're gonna be running a lot of different things. So one of the things that I am really, really fond of in this defense is making sure that I kind of create a hybrid defense. Now, what I will do is I will, in a lot of cases, against a compression style formation like bunch, those stem down corners are really, really painful. A lot of times people will like throw those to the outside and this guy on the outside won't match it. So this is where I get a little bit hybrid with this defense. In a lot of cases, I can user one seam and rely on match in the other seam. So one of the things that I'm a big fan of doing, and maybe this is a little bit too much ball here because this is a really good tip, so again, make sure you guys go to Gridiron, is I will call cover 9. And cover 9, this has been my defense all year. Some other creators are really starting to hop on this and act like it's theirs, but this has been what I've been teaching since literally the first night the game came out. Go to Gridiron if you don't believe me. You guys see here on the YouTube channel, I also taught a ton of cover 2 match and cover 9 based off of the cover 2 match as well here on the channel. But I'm being a little bit petty right now. Let's just get into the tip here. So again, with this, what we're really focused on is the fact that this cover 9 handles everything that a Bunch X Nasty is going to throw at you. If they want to throw the backside glance RPO to that guy, again, not even focusing on the front side here, you're going to see that the glance, I cannot throw that ball to the X receiver. If I want to throw that, it's going to be all over it. Yes, catch and traffic rates are high. You're not living on that throw. If they want to audible out of this RPO though, and basically go to like the stem down corner meta, one of the things that I love about cover 9 is that this beautifully handles the stem down corner meta. So when we talk about somebody that likes to run stuff like, for instance, the stem down corner with the slot fade and, you know, the backside drag with, you know, maybe a Texas behind it. There's a lot of different things players will do. But in this particular case, what I love about it is that we have the weapons on the right side to handle that stem down corner. So they love to chuck this throw. This is basically, again, we're getting agged. That's just the way Madden is. It's covered though. And there's going to be a day where those ags are going to be much less prevalent. If you're taking a look at the college football title update that basically came out today, you saw that it reduced a lot of the catch tackle animations from being caught and held on to. Madden is going to follow suit on that. So rest assured, just play good defense. And when that switch is flipped by EA and those become drops, you're going to be living. So you've got this coverage that's really, really good against the RPO. But the other thing that it's really, really good against is defending a lot of the cheat motion stuff, because we have with those cheat motion wheel type plays like this, we have this matching quarter on the outside. So when I see them go to that, I just go move him out wide. And by the time the ball snapped, they're not throwing that glitchy wheel that glitches all the zones because we're in match. So I could be in that, guard the RPO on this side, guard the cheat motion to that side, guard the corner routes to the other side. And then the only real thing I have to worry about on the right side in this play is this RPO. Like if they want to pipe throw a quick streak to Nakua, you will see that that kind of is my responsibility. So you see right here, like I've got to do a good job. I can't throw on one controller and lurk on the other, but you get the point that I'm making. So the only thing that's in the back of my mind when I'm facing Bunch X Nasty is get into my cover 9, get the outside stem corner handled, play close and tight against the RPO. And then if they do the cheat motion across the field, it's as simple as just moving him out wide and then hitting B twice to get to my user. And then other than that, I've just got to guard this quick throw to Nakua. If I do that, life is easy. You're not going to be able to throw any of that stuff. Pretty easy stuff here. Now, one other thing about cover 9, okay? Be careful with the stem down corners. Sometimes if your opponent knows you're in cover 9 and they want to run a stem down corner, they can actually throw this RPO over the top of his head. If you're dealing with somebody that is a true expert of this offense and they're not just blindly throwing seams, this is where you might decide, okay, I am going to play cover 9. I know I've got the match I need on this side of the field. And then you would mix in like your true quarters calls, okay? And that the reason you have to do that is that is the way that you have to be able to basically guard that stem down corner. So they can go ahead and do, you know, all this nonsense with B on a stem down corner, thinking it's going to glitch out your soft squat. But then when they snap this ball, it is actually matched by, you know, one of the two guys. And again, I know that this is ag fest right now, but I think you guys see that this is how you cover this. And I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. This is really how I guard Bunch X Nasty overall. If you guys want the rest of the story, you know, how do I defend Bunch Strong? How do I defend trips tight end flex? How do I defend 2x2 tight? What are my rules against trips tight end? What are my rules against tight doubles? I have that all in my match Bible on the website, but I hope that this helped you guys out. This is how you defend the scummiest offense in Madden 26. I'll yap at y'all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys then. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab and good luck.